Hey, welcome to Keight Krafts. I'm Keight. Today I would like to share with you my make for the Build Your Stash Holiday Card Challenge number 36. Let's get started. To kick things off, here are the measurements that I will be using in today's card. Not to worry though, I've made sure to put them down in the description box below, so if you just want to follow along and then try to recreate it later, that's cool, or if you're just here for the silly commentary, welcome. So here I am taking my card base and I am just folding it as usual to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then we are going to measure up a bit here and we are going to cut this at, I believe it was like 2/3 of the way up. No, not 2/3, 2 3/4 of the way up. I forget. You'll see here in a minute. So I'm just cutting this up. Yeah, you can kind of see here 2 3/4 on my pad. I don't know, my screen is quite small for me to be seeing all this, so all I'm doing is cutting that part off, and then I'm going to take up my little memory keepers trimmer here, which I find very handy, and I'm just going to chop that top part off. Then we're going to line it up with my little red line here that reads 4 1/4, and we are going to have ourselves an A2 size card. So once that's done, I'm going to go fold that over and give that a good crease, and then I'm just going to smooth out that edge because the trimmer on my memory keepers trimmer kind of sucks. It leaves a little bit of a jagged edge. I probably need a new blade or some kind of adjustment, which is why you see me using the guillotine trimmer quite a bit. Now, here I am measuring twice, and I still fail to cut properly once, as you'll see here in a second. I was kind of trying to figure this guy out as I went. As you can kind of see here, I've got like 2 3/4 of a cut that I've got to make, and for some reason I thought 2 1/4 cut, which I'm kind of kicking myself here right now, like, oh sugar, what did I do? So we're going to try that again. We're going to pull back my guillotine trimmer after I figure out what went wrong and why I didn't measure properly, and we are going to cut that extra piece out, and this time we are going to measure it properly. I'm careful not to cut the piece that has the stitching on the bottom because I want that stitching to show. And there, now we've got something a little more cohesive than what we're doing here. So here I'm just going to make a bit of an adjustment here, and that's what we are going to cut at, is that right there. And then, or at least that's what I thought. So I'm just going to measure that again. And yep, see, I did it again, but at least I wasn't cutting it. So we're all good. So that's where we're going to cut at, so you can see. And then once that's done, we are going to take our little piece and figure out what we're going to do. So we are going to grab some tape runner here, and we are going to stick this on with a little bit of Easy Runner tape runner and plop that down right there. Now, I was kind of a little concerned about the edge there because it did not have any stitched to it. And since this is a card for the Build Your Stash Holiday Card Challenge, it had to be winter. So with this Doodlebug paper pad, they have a lot of really cute little pattern papers on them and critters. So I end up going with the little Yeti, as you'll see eventually. So here I'm just adding a little bit of glue and some tape runner, and we are going to take our big piece, cut out with the outside and stitched rectangle, and we are going to plop that down on the inside of the card. Just like so. I don't know what it is about this paper pad, it's really cute, and this is probably the second time I've bought it. So we're going to take that little tiny trim of Yeti there that I had from the paper pad. We'll add a little bit of tape runner and a little bit of glue, like squidgy bottle glue, because that's always how I glue things down. I double stick. So we're going to double stick. We're going to line that up nice and neat so that way it sits within that like outside in stitched rectangle cutout, and you've got that cute little border right there. Now with the sketch for this month's challenge, it was kind of interesting to try and figure out. I know I wanted to do some kind of fun fold card, and I didn't want to do a traditional card where it was just, you know, folded the same way either way. I thought I would just cut some stuff out. So here I'm going to make another adjustment, and I'll make sure to leave that in the description box below as well. And we are going to make another cut. So I'm going to bring out my guillotine trimmer, and we are going to cut the front part. Now, I say the front part, but it's really actually an extra card, as you may have seen in the thumbnail. So I'm just going to take my extra scrap piece of the purple cardstock. This was Recollections brand, so I'm just going to cut that down to size. And then we are going to pull out my scoreboard here. I really do enjoy using the scoreboard, not so much the cutter, but my guillotine trimmer only goes up to a certain size, whereas this one will cut 12 by 12, which is really nice. So I've gone ahead and made my little card here, which I think that measured out to 2 3/4. I can't remember. Here we go. So it's going to be 2 1/4, and we are going to have that, I believe, by 3, if I'm not mistaken. So I've got this little cutout here from the outside in stitched rectangle die, and I'm going to add that to the front of our little bitty card here, just to give it a little bit of extra interest. And we are going to double stick, of course. So once I've added in my adhesive, we will flip that over and we will line that up nice and neat to this little tiny card. So once I'm satisfied with where this is going to stick, after moving it around, I'm ready to assemble more of my card. So as you can see here, it's going to kind of overlap, and because this is purple, I wanted to add in a little piece of white cardstock. So that way, if somebody needs to write on it, they can write on it. And usually I leave most of my insides of my cards blank, but there are a few that I do put like sentiments on the inside. So once again, we are going to add a little bit of tape runner to our little mini card here, and then we will double stick it with some glue, just to make sure that the edges don't catch on anything. And then once we are happy with the amount of glue, we are going to be very careful and lay this down right there, and then we'll give it a good mash down. And then once that's done, we can close our card. So you get the idea right here. Now, I needed something for the front of that card, and I was a little lost, so I thought I would pull in this cute little Yeti. I mean, if you had the MFT Yeti stamp, that would look really cute with this too. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Lawn Fawn Yeti stamp. I'm not sure, as I don't have it. I know a couple of my crafty friends have it, and it's very cute, but I can't justify getting that stamp set because I already have the Yetis and the Lawn Fawn, and that's a set that doesn't get as much love. And this little Doodlebug guy kind of reminds me of the MFT versions of the Yeti, which are equally cute. So once I've got that guy with some double stick on him, we are going to plop him down. And then next we are going to pull out some high supply gems, which I have a bin full, and I've gone ahead and added my snowflakes, and here you can see the card closed, opened, and completely open. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.